what we're going to be introducing you tonight is a solution, a potential solution to what is going on in the world today. You know, anytime that there is a recession or a down economy, I typically look for three things. Number one, I look for stored value. I'm looking for places that I can put my capital that's not going to go backwards, right? I don't even want to put my money in a checking account right now because it's literally going backwards because the value of the dollar is going backwards and because the price of goods is going up. So if you're literally putting your money in the bank, you're losing money. So the number one thing that I'm looking for is stored value. The second thing that I'm looking for is cash flow, income producing assets. Cash is king in a recession. And number three, I'm looking for upside potential. If there's anything that you take away from tonight's presentation, I want you to hear this. The decisions that you make in a down market, the decisions that you make in a bear market, the coins that you accumulate at that same time can build you tremendous wealth over the next 3 to 5 years. I believe wholeheartedly that there is no better place to accumulate wealth than in the cryptocurrency space right now. If you look at what's going on in the cryptocurrency space, let's just kind of go back and let's talk about it, where it all started. You go back 12 years ago and you've got Bitcoin that first came out, and we've all got our Bitcoin story, right? I remember when I got a call about Bitcoin from a friend of mine, and they said, man, you got to get in on this. I says, okay, tell me about it. He says, well, it's $300 for a coin. I says, okay, so is it like a silver coin? Is it a gold coin? He says, no, it's a digital coin. I says, what's a digital coin? He says, well, you can't really hold it. I said, okay, well, how do I get it? He says, you got to find somebody that's buying it. I said, okay, well, where can I spend it? He says, oh, no, you can't really spend it. You just got to hold it. And I said, well, how do I get rid of it? How do I liquidate it? And he says, well, you got to find somebody that'll buy it. I says, wait. So you want me to spend $300 on a digital coin that I can't hold it. I can't spend it. I got to go meet somebody in a dark alley to buy it. And then if I want to sell it, I got to go meet somebody else in a dark alley. No, thank you. Take your phantom money and go away. I'm not interested, right? Many of us have those stories. So then what happened? I remember a few months later, I'm reading about it, and all of a sudden I read that Bitcoin goes to $1,300. And I'm thinking, oh man, maybe I should have bought some of that phantom money, Sean. It went from $300 to $1,300. I'm sure not going to buy a coin that I can't hold, that I can't spend for $1,300. And then what happened? And then it continued to go up. There's these new ideas that come along, innovation. And when they come along, you have these pioneers. They come out with these ideas. And whenever there is significant change that is disruptive, right? I'm talking about can disrupt the entire world and the way that we live, there's always opposition. If you go back historically, sometimes it's violent opposition. People don't like change. And so when cryptocurrency was introduced, it's a currency that's to get the banks and the governments out of the middle of our transactions. And I got to tell you, I am all over that. Can I get an amen? If you are tired of going into the bank and making a deposit and they say, well, where did this money come from? Or sending money and they say, well, what's this for? Or them freezing your funds because they want to make sure and know what's going on. I'm so tired of any of that. So I am all for a currency that is for the people, by the people. A peer-to-peer network. Ricardo, I should be able to send Ricardo money without the bank getting their hands in my pocket and trying to figure out what it is that I'm trying to buy from Ricardo. So for me, I love the concept of cryptocurrency, but you got to remember, man, you come out with a new currency, whoa, you're challenging the government, you're challenging the banks, you're challenging the Federal Reserve, which, by the way, is the Federal Reserve a government institution? Just out of curiosity. Who owns the Federal Reserve? Does anybody know? So here you got this disruptive technology that's threatening, some major players that are out there. But here's the interesting thing. People realized, wait a second, blockchain technology, it's faster, it's more efficient. And you know what? It really has the ability to be able to transform business, industry. And for that reason, it just kind of started to evolve and it started to adapt. And all of a sudden, we started to see this adoption. Now, I got involved around 2016. And I started getting involved with Bitcoin. I started getting involved in Ethereum, and I was super excited. And then 2018 hit. And Bitcoin went from 19,000 to 3,000, and Ethereum lost 94% of its value. And you know what happened? all of the I told you so people came out of the woodworks on social media. Isn't it funny? Anytime that cryptocurrency or Bitcoin drops, it's like you get all of these people that come out of the woodworks and they're like, man, I told you so. I told you it was just a bubble. They love to come out of the woodworks. The media, everybody was out there saying, man, it's over. The bubble burst. It's never coming back. And you know what we were doing? We were out there waving a flag going, listen, the decisions that you make in a bear market, the coins that you accumulate in a down market can build you wealth in the next bull run. Buy, and accumulate as much as you possibly can right now. And you know what? I had people literally come to me and say, man, you're irresponsible. You have a platform. People follow you. And you're out there telling them to spend money on Bitcoin. And you're out there telling them to buy cryptocurrency. I said, absolutely, I am. They said, man, you are irresponsible. What happened a couple of years later? Just out of curiosity, 2 to 3 years later, Bitcoin went from $3,000 to $69,000. Ethereum went to $3,000 per token. And the people that chose to accumulate during that time, you had all kinds of people that were panic selling. You had all kinds of people that were dumping coins. And you know what? As they were selling for losses, there's somebody else that's over here buying up their losses. And you know what? They're just waiting and waiting for those gains. And let me tell you guys something. Right now, there is no better time to be able to change your financial situation than right here, right now, with where we are today and what is right around the corner. So for me, I am all about accumulation. I'm accumulating as many coins as I can, but I'm very, very careful about the tokens that and the projects that I get involved with because, man, how about you guys? I'm tired of the meme coins and the rug pulls and the pump and dumps. You know, let me let you know a little secret. A true asset should never lose 80% of its value because Elon Musk is in a bad mood and he tweets about it, right? It shouldn't happen. So while I love the cryptocurrency space, I also recognize diamond hands. That's right. I love diamond hands. While I recognize the fact that cryptocurrency is changing the world, we got to acknowledge that only 4% of the population owns a cryptocurrency wallet right now. Do you realize that over the next 12 to 18 months, that's projected to go to 10%? So here's the question that I want to ask every one of you. What is going to be the catalyst that moves that needle from 4% to 10%? What's going to be the catalyst that moves that needle from 4% to 10%? Because you know you've got the crypto enthusiasts, the diehard people that have been for years, people like Sean, people like Ricardo, people like Mike, people like Cedric that have been out there saying, man, that these are cryptocurrency educators. They get it. But see, what's going to get the people that have been sitting on the sidelines curious that are saying to themselves right now, man, I know there's something here, and you know what, I've got to learn this, but I'm scared of the volatility. What's going to get them to step into this space? That's the question that I'm asking myself. And then here's another question that you might want to ask yourself. Well, if we're going to see that type of adoption rate, how do we position ourselves in front of those trends, right? Let me let you in a little success principle. Figure out where people are going and get there faster. Here's the third question you might want to ask yourself. Well, if we're going to go from 4% to 10%, and we know that we can position ourselves in front of our trends, how do we provide solutions and solve problems that are going to impact that industry and raise the bar? That's the question that you want to ask yourself. Because if you can answer that question, my friends, then let me tell you something. You can make an absolute fortune. The project that I'm about to introduce you to is doing exactly that. And that is the reason why I am here. I am most excited about playing a role in raising the bar in the cryptocurrency space. The company that I'm going to introduce you to, called DebtBox, is absolutely changing the game in this space right now. Let me tell you a little story about DebtBox. So I'm gonna pull up a little slide here just so you can kind of see who they are. You can go to the debtbox.com and learn a little bit more about them. So my friends, guys that I've gotten to know very, very well here over the course of the last few months, Jason and Jake Anderson founded this company. They started off about 12 years ago, about 11 years ago now, mining Bitcoin when it was under $100 per coin. Can you imagine mining Bitcoin when it was under $100 per coin? They did extremely well. From there, they decided to go start a venture capital group and a hedge fund that did exceptionally well. They went over to Africa and spent the last 10 years over there mining oil, gold, precious metals. And during that time, they actually developed a relationship with the royalty families, with the government officials, and even the king himself. And it was because of the way that they conducted their business. you had a lot of people that were coming in, like the Chinese, that would come in and they would strip mine the land and they would desecrate the land whenever they would mine. And so these guys would come in and they would plant 1,000 trees when they were done. Whenever they would find water, they would donate it to a local village. And so they started to establish trust with the royalty families. About 6 years ago, they were introduced to a technology that has the ability to be able to scan the earth using satellites. So they actually use the same satellite that brings you Google Maps and Google Earth, has the ability to be able to scan the earth and identify pockets of gold and other commodities that are in the ground, but not just locate them. They can find them to within 6 centimeters in the ground. Now, up to this point, exploratory companies spend hundreds of millions of dollars every single year drilling and drilling and drilling. And I didn't know this until recently. As much as 80% of the holes that they drill are actually dry, because the technology that they have up to this point, it's not 100% accurate. And so they go through this process and they spend a lot of money trying to source. And then not only that, but then to figure out where to enter into a chamber to maximize the extraction process. So obviously a technology like this could completely disrupt the way that things are done. And so, they pioneered this technology and they introduced it to some smaller exploratory companies. And one in particular decided to partner with them and said, I'll tell you what, anything that you find, we will pay you royalties on. Prove to us that this technology works. So they found their first well in Nevada, pictured here on the screen. What you see in the green is where they drilled in the 50s and 60s. And they thought that the well had gone dry. Well, the pink is the new chamber that they had no idea existed, that our scan technology picked up. Over 400 million barrels of oil, enough to extract over 5,000 barrels of oil every single day for the next 10 years. What you see on the bottom right-hand side is a scan. It works very similar to MRI technology. So what you'll see is you'll see the surface, and then you can actually see at different depths, things like helium. You'll see natural gas. You'll see oil at different depths as well. And so it's highly accurate. And of course, when this discovery was made, it kind of sent shockwaves through the entire exploratory industry because people started hearing about this technology. So other companies like BP and Shell and Exxon started approaching them. They're exploratory companies saying, hey, look, we would like to partner with you. Help us go find some wells. So they found wells, I think it was 14, 15 wells throughout Texas, 16 different wells in Nebraska, many more, a dozen more over in Africa. We're going to have some of us that are on here tonight are going to be in Africa here in a week, and we're going to be bringing you footage from those different locations and those different sites. And it was a very, very fruitful partnership. Well, these guys have always been fans of cryptocurrency. And like many of us, they're tired of the meme coins and the pump and dumps. They're tired of projects that have no utility, that have no purpose, coins that have pictures of dogs or foxes or whatever the case might be, that really are more about popularity than anything else. Or you've got coins and tokens that, celebrities are pumping them up. I mean, Kim Kardashian just got fined $1.2 million for her participation in pumping up a token. So what they said is, look, you know what? We want to tokenize a commodity. I've always known the moment that somebody tokenizes a commodity, fortunes would be made. And here's what I mean by that. Think about the dollar when it was backed by the gold standard. It had value. It was backed by gold bullion, but the moment that Richard Nixon removed the gold standard in 1972, what happened? The value just started crashing. It just started crashing. And now we've lost 86% of our value. So I've been thinking, man, when is somebody going to back a commodity with oil or gold or precious metals? Now, look, I've heard of other projects. Some projects, hey, we're backed by gold. But when you go really look into them, what you find is it's not necessarily backed by gold bullion. It's backed by a gold mine. And then if you dig a little bit deeper, you find that there's a reason why they're not extracting that gold, because it's not cost effective. So what does the mine do? They just give out leases and let people go out and say, hey, we're backed by a gold mine. It's not truly backed by a commodity. So when I heard about this and I heard commodity-backed crypto, I was a little skeptical, but I was reluctantly optimistic. And as I started to explore a little bit deeper, man, I got to tell you, I got extremely excited because for me, this is what we've been waiting for. This is the catalyst that's going to allow the average person to go, you know what? Now I feel comfortable here because I don't have to worry about the rug being pulled out from underneath me. I don't have to worry about, these coins that go up 80, 90%, and then everybody sells and all of a sudden the bottom drops out. And that's something that excites me. What we are doing and what these guys have done is they have replaced hype with substance. They have replaced speculation with tangibility. And that, my friends, is what the next bull run is going to be driven by. The last bull run was driven by a lot of hype, a lot of projects that didn't have any substance. Mark my words, what's going to move that needle from 4% to 10% is substance. So they launched their first token. It was called Black Gold on November 1st of last year. And I got to tell you, it's one of the most successful projects that came out of 2021. It went up over 110,000%. And what's interesting is it did that over the course of the better first half of this year. Now, what was happening in the cryptocurrency space from January to June of this year? It was crashing. It was crashing. But yet here you've got a project that's going through the roof. Why? One word, two words actually, stored value. Stored value. That's why, because people started to see as the cryptocurrency industry was going down and we were going into a bear market and we were going into a recession, people were looking for places of stored value. And so for that reason, this project created over 1,000 seven-figure portfolio holders, one every 3 days inside of their ecosystem. Since that time, they have introduced a variety of other projects that are all backed by natural gas, by oil, by gold, by aluminum, and other commodities that are in high demand. So what they are doing, what their purpose, what their utility is to reduce the volatility by supporting these tokens with real projects, with real commodities. Their revolutionary, decentralized, eco-friendly blockchain technology network of software node operators together, they work together inside of a blockchain ecosystem that operates on Binance, the BNB network. And all of their projects are supported by real world commodities that are linked through the blockchain to add stability to its ecosystem. And they do that with tangible physical commodity production with things like agriculture, bauxite, crude oil, gold, real estate, royalty cash flows. And I'll tell you that the benefits from physical production of these commodities by supporting real world projects that generate ongoing revenues is significant. And that is why we have sold now over 1 million licenses inside of the last 12 months. Now, some of you are saying, okay, I want some proof. I want to know that does the oil really exist? I needed to know myself. So we went out to Nebraska. This is a private farm on 5,000 acres. And I say private because we don't have to worry about regulation if it's on private land. Now, the owner of this farm, had a chance to meet him, wonderful guy. He's known for quite some time that there was oil on his property. Now, remember, this is 5,000 acres. He partnered with 2 exploratory companies prior to us. They drilled and they drilled and they drilled and they could not find oil. And it's expensive to bring this equipment out and to drill and to go dry every single time. And so, he was saying that he was getting to the point where he was frustrated, and he found us. We went out and we did a scan of his land, and we found 16 different targets, and we concentrated on the largest. And we told them that the first payload would be at 7,460 square feet, and the larger payload would be a little bit deeper than that, right below 9,000 feet. So we started drilling. At 7,460 feet, we struck oil. Texas T, right? We struck oil. And I'll tell you what, the guy in the blue down here at the bottom, when you tour these mining rigs, they're much bigger than they look even in the pictures. OSHA requires them to shut everything down so you can see where the oil comes out there. And this guy is the engineer. He runs the entire site. This guy is been in the industry for 40 years. He's run projects all over the world for some of the largest oil companies. He got a call from the gentleman who pioneered the technology, our partner in the scan technology, and said, look, we found a revolutionary way to be able to identify oil in the ground. Told him how it worked. And as he's telling the story, I can still hear him as we're standing around this hole. He says, I told him that he was completely full of you know what. And he said, there's no way that you can pinpoint oil. There's just no way you can do it. He says, I'll tell you what, if I can prove to you that this works, will you come out of retirement and run this project for us? And now he came out of retirement. He's running the project because he was proved wrong. So now here's what's happened. So they hit the first payload, but our scan was reading a much bigger payload down below. And we suspected that it was a dolomite. A dolomite is a sand burial that's underground that produces some of the largest oil reserves in the world. Saudi Arabia was built on dolomite. And so we have now confirmed, and it's unofficial because we're still waiting for our certification, that this is a dolomite. We have 1,600 acres of oil and gas flowing underneath this site. $1.7 trillion of natural gas on this one location alone. I'm going to play a little video for you just so that you can kind of get a feel walking up to this. This is now, they started with one mining rig, and because of the depths that they have to go to, they actually brought in one of the largest mining rigs in the world. And here we are. So let me go ahead and play this video for you.
So this is the largest oil drill that you can buy. These are the same ones that Exxon and the big oil giants are using to drill down. And it runs 24 hours, has 18 people, 12-hour shifts, they're rotating. And I don't know if you can see it yet, but right on the side there, you can see the black gold BGLD, baby. And this is just one of the projects that is backed, or that is the crypto project that's backed by real world commodities. It's just incredible to see.
I've smelled the oil. I've had the oil all over my hands. It's amazing. Oil gets on every single handle, every single step, everywhere, all over these sites. We will be in Ghana next week, and we'll be visiting our aluminum mines. We'll be visiting our farmers. We'll be visiting our oil mines, just to continue to bring validation that these commodities do exist, that they do back these projects, and that they are what they say they are. Now, for those of you that maybe don't understand mining, I'm just going to give you a little visual. I'm a visual person. So mining, I mean, when you get in the world of cryptocurrency, you know, you start to learn a little bit of a new language. I remember the first time somebody said, hey, Travis, you know, I need the hash. I was like, the hash? What do you mean the hash? The only hash I know of is the hash browns I have this morning. I have no clue what you're talking about, right? So you start to learn a little bit of the lingo as you go. But here's the thing. The beautiful thing is that they have made this so simple. You don't have to be a crypto expert here. This is how it works. So essentially, a transaction is requested, a block that represents the transaction is created, and it's sent to everybody in the network. Now, I want you to think about it. If you swiped your card tonight at a restaurant, it would be sent to a third party, right? That validates that transaction. They validate that the money is in your bank, and then they send an approval back. It doesn't work that way because there's no banks or institutions in the middle of our transaction. So how do these transactions get verified? It's sent to the licensing node holders that are all connected online, and their software works to validate these transactions. I don't do it. You know, Cedric's not sitting at home all day long going, let me confirm another transaction. It's all automated. So what happens is the nodes validate the transaction, and then nodes receive a reward for their work. And that reward is in the form of a token, depending on whatever project that you are participating in. And then that transaction is complete. Very simple process, works 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Now, here are our current projects that we currently have as of right now. So the DEP token is our utility token. What does that mean? It's like the main token for the entire ecosystem. Why? Because it's easier to get one token approved on 10 different exchanges than it is to get 10 different tokens approved on 10 different exchanges. What I love is that we are not a project that is sitting here saying, guys, just if you invest $100,000, man, we'll give you 10 million tokens. And when we finish building our blockchain and when we get onto an exchange, man, just watch the value of these tokens going to go up. We're already on almost, what is it, 9 different exchanges. We've already gone through that process. Do you realize that every single exchange that we go on, we have to go through a stringent process where they're looking into the background and the liquidity and they want to validate everything that we say that we're doing. We're on CoinMarketCap, CoinGecko, PancakeSwap, LBank, number 15th largest exchange in the world. Our debt token was just recently listed in the top 10 by trading volume. We're trading over $7.5 million per day. So the debt is the utility token. So what does that mean? It means that no matter what project that you're participating in our app, you can swap out of any one of these projects directly into the debt token, and then you can go on to any of the exchanges that the debt token is on, and you can liquidate. Every one of our projects has 100% liquidity. You don't have to go on Pancake Swap and sit there and wait and sit there and wait and sit there and wait and pay huge gas fees, hoping that there's going to be somebody that wants to buy your token.
Hey Travis, real quick, could you hit your volume? Could you turn the volume went down a little bit?
My volume went down. I don't know. I didn't turn anything.
There you go. There you go.
All right. So every one of our projects has 100% liquidity. 100% liquidity. So there's no problem. In fact, when the tokens come in, you have three different choices. First choice is I can take those tokens and I can cash them out daily. Second choice, I can swap into any one of these projects. Third choice, I can hold and I can hold. And I can look for that upside long-term potential. Now let's talk about these projects for a moment. So the BGLD is our proof of concept project. Black Gold, these licenses are now sold out. So we don't have access to those anymore from a purchase standpoint. Now we have Grow. How many Grow fans do we have on here tonight? I want to hear it in the chat. Grow is like the Cinderella story because it came out around the same time as Nat G. And man, everybody loved Nat G, right? Natural gas up 500% in 2 years. Grow is high yielding agriculture. We're talking about hemp. Hemp is very popular right now. We're talking about soybean, cocoa bean. We deal in carbon credits. We have a team that goes out and helps farmers become carbon certified. How? We use our scan technology. We scan their land. We identify how many crops they have. There is a dollar value that correlates with those crops. And once they become carbon certified, they can sell those carbon credits to who? Oil companies. Oil companies are required by law to buy carbon credits to offset their footprint in the world. So doesn't it make sense that if we have oil companies that are coming to us that want to use our scan technology, that we're going to direct them to our farmers? So now this is free money to the farmers. And so with all of that being said, guys, Grow just broke $1 today. It just broke $1. It was 16 cents, not more than a little over 60 days ago or 90 days ago. And it just broke $1 today. You show me any other project in the cryptocurrency space currently in this economy right now that is performing like that. Nat G launched on May 1st. It's up 4,000% from the day that we launched. 5 zeros and a 1. Today it's 3 zeros and a 4. Nat G, natural gas. The only difference between Nat G and Black Gold is about 12 months. The tokenomics are the exact same. I love that project. I'm I'm all about accumulation right now. There's a difference between price and value. When I focus on in a down market is accumulating. Nat G is a fantastic project for that. Today, right now, this is not a guarantee. This is based on today. Past performance doesn't guarantee future results. Nat G is paying out 16,000 tokens per day right now. And I'm going to give you a little tour of what that looks like in just a moment. Digitally linked gold, for those that might be a little more conservative, can't handle those bigger swings in the cryptocurrency space. Digitally linked gold is backed by the physical counterpart of gold, not gold that's sitting in a mine somewhere. We have bullion that is sitting in a well, and you can actually request that gold be sent to you in exchange for your tokens that will be sent to a burn wallet. You may not see the same upside potential with that project, but what it does is it brings those that maybe have a little bit, their tolerance is a little less, or they're wanting to offset the risk on some of the other projects. So it allows them to build a balanced portfolio. Explorer, I got to tell you guys, I love this project. So Explorer is our scan technology. It's what makes everything possible. We have just partnered with Boeing, with Google, with SpaceX. We are building our own satellite. We'll be launching it in 2023. Why? Because it costs us about $75,000 to go out and scan utilizing Google Earth satellite. We'll be able to do the same thing on our satellite for about $3,000. So it'll increase the profitability in all of our projects. We'll also be able to lease space on that satellite to other companies. So with that being said, it's also the launching pad for all of our projects that don't yet have a token. We've got projects that are ready to go. We've got projects that are already profitable, and all of that comes under Explorer, and Explorer is doing exceptionally well right now. And this just hit the exchange about 75 days ago. Aluminum is one of the more popular projects that we have as well. Aluminum We just partnered with one of the largest bauxite mining companies in the world. They do about 1.2 million tons of aluminum every year. If you haven't looked at the demand of aluminum in the last 10 years or the projections over the next 10 years, it is through the roof. They have hired us as their exclusive exploratory partner to help them go from 1.2 million to 5 million tons every single year. I'm so excited about being on site on that property next week. We've got other projects that are in the works. Real estate is a project that you probably will be seeing in early 2022. How about this? This project I'm so excited about. We just recently discovered the largest aqueduct, the largest underground reservoir of water in the United States in the last 50 years. Now, we know that water is in high demand. We've got significant droughts that are happening, not just around the country, but around the world. Well, imagine a project that has the ability to be able to find underground water, especially in places in third world countries, that you can now direct that water to the places that need it most. And we are tokenizing that with a new project called DRIP. And there's a whole humanitarian emphasis on that project as well. So I'm super excited about that. We just partnered with one of the largest credit card companies in the world. It's not Visa. It's not American Express. What's the third one, you guys? What's the third one, Sean? Come on, MasterCard, baby. MasterCard. That's right. We just partnered with MasterCard. They are building us out an entire platform where there'll be different levels of cards that you can carry. And in addition to that, they'll come with different perks, travel perks, cash back. And you'll be able to utilize those cards and swipe those cards anywhere, and it's linked directly to your debt token. So anybody know what the name of that project is going to be? Swipe. And you know what? That is another project that we have coming out. So this is just to give you an example. We've got carbon, we've got copper, and many other projects coming next year. First ecosystem in the entire world that allows you to be able to mine these projects and get involved with these commodity-backed cryptocurrency tokens. It's as simple as this, folks. Step one, you purchase a software mining license and you activate it. Your license has to be activated before it begins mining. The company actually activates it for you, so you purchase it, they take care of that. Step number two, you earn rewards daily through the mining process. And step number three, you withdraw the rewards, or you exchange the rewards for other projects in the ecosystem, or you hold them for the long-term upside potential. So we've talked a little bit about the different projects. Let's just briefly touch on the price of these projects. Black Gold, $6,000 is now sold out. Just before this license sold out, it was retailing at $72,000. See, here's the thing. When you buy a license, that license is governed by a smart contract. I love this because there's no room for error. It's programmed digitally. The smart contract executes automatically what's supposed to happen, and it guarantees that you will receive rewards for a minimum of 4,000 days. Now, the licenses are perpetual, so if there's enough oil or natural gas or aluminum for that project to continue on beyond 4,000 days, it will keep going, but it guarantees a minimum of 4,000 days, a little over 10 and a half years. So Black Gold is sold out. Here's what's really cool. When the project sells out, it takes about 90 days, and then the project converts from a license to an NFT. And as it converts to an NFT, guess what? Now you have digital real estate, and you have the ability to go sell that license on the open market. You guys, some of you might remember Gala nodes and Gala coin. Gala nodes came out, they were about $1,000 a piece when they first launched. Gala coin went through the roof, and Gala nodes were selling in the open market for as much as $100,000 per license. So not only are you getting a perpetual license that's going to pay you daily rewards for 10 years, you have digital real estate that has true retail value. NatG, $6,000. Guys, this is a steal at this price for a project that's still in accumulation, that's paying out 16,000 tokens. We only have 300 of these licenses left, probably about 250 after today. When they are gone, they are gone. The only way you'll be able to buy these is in the open market, and they're already retailing at $72,000. If you go to Debt right now, you can buy directly from Debt, but you're going to spend $72,000 retail. We have them at Wholesale for $6,000 right now. Grow, we've already talked about. Grow is actually priced at $2,000. That is a misprint. What you're seeing is things to come. So I would definitely take action on that price point. A lot of Grow sold today, guys. People are seeing what that token is doing. People are jumping all over Grow. Digitally linked gold, aluminum, and Explorer are all at promotional pricing. What does that mean? When the projects first come out, they introduce them at promotional pricing because we have not yet gone on to the exchanges. Now, one thing that I love is we have hit our target. We tell everybody 60 days from the time that we launch before we hit the exchange. We actually hit the exchanges on all 3 of these projects within 30 days of them launching. They've done everything that they said that they would do. So now we've started to see these projects mature. We started to see, especially aluminum and Explorer, take off. And as as they become more and more limited, as we sell more and more licenses, there's a limited supply, right? So as they become more limited, as the token values go up, the price of these projects go up as well. So on Monday, you will see a major price hike on aluminum and Explorer. So with that, here's what I want to do real quickly. I want to jump into my back office. I'm gonna show you guys what this software system looks like, because it is like driving a Ferrari. And then I'm going to talk to you a little bit about an opportunity here in just a moment that has the ability to make a significant difference in your life. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to thedebtbox.com. Let me show my screen here real quickly. Thedebtbox.com is where you can learn all about this company. You can learn about their projects. If you scroll down, you can learn a little bit about how the ecosystem works, the different projects. If you come all the way to the bottom and click learn more, you can click on the light papers. You can learn all about the projects. You can look up the liquidity pools, all of the information, how many tokens are in circulation, how many licenses are available. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take you into my back office. Now, before we go any further, let me just say this. This is not a guarantee. This is my personal experience. Past performance does not guarantee future results. This is based on my personal experiences that cryptocurrency and NFTs is risky. Losses incurred. There may not be recourse for losses incurred. I got to throw that out there again. So I'm just showing you my personal experiences. So when you log in, what you see here is you see this beautiful dashboard. And if you look over to the right, you'll see a snapshot of what's happening here within the last hour or so on all of our projects. Now, let me point out something. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of our 7 projects currently right now are in the green. How many projects do you think are in the green in the cryptocurrency space right now? Very few. The fact that we continually are showing green on our projects is a testament to the fact that people are looking for stored value. They're looking for cash flow potential. They're looking for potential, the future gains potential. So with that, what you see here is just kind of a snapshot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my rewards. My rewards are going to show you my current portfolio of licenses. Now from here, if I were to click on any one of these licenses, let's look at Explorer. You'll see, I want you to see this number right up here on the left-hand side. So pay attention to this number, 818. 819. Now keep watching that number right there for just a moment. You're going to continue to see that going up. Those are tokens that are coming into my account real time as I'm talking to you. Now I'm not doing anything for them, but those tokens are just being deposited into my account. Now look down here, you'll see the value of what I mined yesterday. This is based on today's price. That's where we got to have a conversation about price and value. There's price, which is what you see today, but the value is the value that this project and this ecosystem brings to the cryptocurrency space. I am a long-term holder. Why? Because I understand the economics, I understand the tokenomics, and I understand that these projects were built to hold, because as they hold, they mature. And as they mature, there are some really cool things that take place, deflationary mechanisms. I'm not going to get into that just yet, that take place that ultimately drive the value of these projects. So for me, the only thing that I am focused on right now is this number right here. How many tokens can I accumulate in each one of these projects? Now, let's go back over here for a moment. By the way, I bought 15 Explorer licenses. I spent $22,000 on those licenses based on the current price points, about a $35,000 a year annual income based on today's value, not a guarantee, based on today's value. Now that could go up, it could go down. But let me ask you something. Do you guys know of anywhere else you can go for about 20 grand, buy a business that's going to pay you $35,000 a year, about the average income of a teacher, but yet you don't have to go to work every single day and you can develop a passive income stream? Well, what if you did that and maybe you decided to accumulate some other licenses? See, I collect licenses. Some people collect baseball cards. Some people collect stamps. Some people used to collect Beanie Babies. Remember that craze? They collect all kinds of things for stored value. I collect licenses. So let's go over to NatG for a moment. I love NatG. I think NatG has tremendous upside potential. Why? Right here. because of the token payout. Each license currently right now is paying out approximately 16,000 tokens per day. So you get the idea. So if you see this right here, excuse me, you see this number going up, those are tokens being deposited into my account. I can click withdraw. I can pull this money directly out of my account. It'll go directly into my wallet. And as I click on the wallet, you'll see exactly where it goes. It goes directly into this NatG wallet down here. You can see I have 39 million tokens that I have accumulated since I've started mining. Now, yeah, it's worth about $15,700, which is cool, but I am not focused on that price at all. What I am focused on is this. We're in a bear market. Remember the statement I said at the beginning of this conversation. The coins, the decisions that you make, the coins that you accumulate in a bear market can do what in the next bull run? It can build you significant wealth. So for me, you know what I'm excited about? When we burn off that zero right there, potentially burn off that zero. When we burn off these 2 zeros, when we potentially burn off these 3 zeros and we go to 3 pennies, when we go to 5 cents, when we go to 10 cents, or when we potentially go to $1. It's hard to let my mind go above $1, but you guys can do the math. That's what I'm excited about. I am a long-term holder. For me, this is my retirement. I am building myself. Yes, I am focused on daily cash flow potential. I'm not cashing it out, but I love the idea, you guys. I mean, if I added up my NatG on a yearly basis and you look at it, I might about $176, about $65,000 a year that I've built with my NatG licenses. Well, if I keep going and I were to show you all of these different projects, depending on if my rentals are turned on or not, and I'll touch base on those in a moment, I'm somewhere between $800 and $1,000 a day based on today's value on my current licenses. I love the fact that if an emergency came up and I needed to be able to liquidate, I have that income coming in. So for me, I have diversified. You know, I think that it's smart money diversifies in a recession. Yeah, you know how many people that are hedging what's going on in their portfolio right now in their 401ks, and they're saying, okay, it makes sense for me to take a small portion, maybe it's 10%, and diversify into something that's going to give me cash flow potential with tremendous upside potential that offers stored value, that's backed by a commodity that's going to offset the fact that I've lost this amount of money over here. Diversification makes sense. Putting all your eggs in one basket in a recession does not. Again, just my opinion. So for that reason, we've got a lot of people that are coming over here. We have real estate investors. We have a lady who recently, she had a duplex. Her income, her average income was about $3,800 per month on that property. And out of that, about 40% went to property taxes and to property management and to taxes. She was netting about $30,000 a year. She sold that property. She took $250,000 of the $400,000 and she bought licenses. And then she created for herself about a $15,000 a month passive residual income. And she used to be making about $2,000 to $3,000 a month before that. And she put $150,000 away. So again, for me, this makes sense. You have to ask yourself a couple of questions. This is what I asked myself. And then we're gonna jump into the opportunity side of this, and we're gonna cruise through that very quickly. I had to ask myself 3 questions. Question number 1, do I believe that cryptocurrency is going to be more popular or less popular over the next 3 to 5 years? What do you think? Into the chat. You think it's gonna be more popular or less popular in the next 3 to 5 years? Absolutely more. Is there even any question? I mean, the signs are all around us, right? I mean, you just had JP Morgan replace real estate as their recommended alternative asset class. And guess what they replaced it with? Cryptocurrency. 2 years ago, JP Morgan was telling their investors to stay away from it. So the answer to that question is yes. Well, then the second question, are people going to be more inclined to get involved with projects that are backed by real world commodities that are in high demand, that have true value? Or are they going to continue to buy speculative meme coins that have no utility? All day long, they're going to want something that actually has real value. So then here's the third question. Are these commodities going to continue to be in high demand? Oil's not going away, guys. The demand for oil is not going away. Natural gas, it's not going away. It's up 500%. Gold, silver, helium, palladium, aluminum, these things are not going away. So for me, this made sense. You have to ask yourself that exact same question. Now, the last thing that I want to touch on here is the fact that I love that we have full transparency. Every single license has its own unique digital address. This is your address, your digital real estate. This is like your title. This allows you to go look up your node on the blockchain, and you can see exactly what it's producing at all times. There's no spreadsheet mining here. There's no investor money coming in the door, tricks that are being played where they're spreadsheet mining and then taking that investor money and paying it out and telling you that they're mining, because you can see the full transparency right here on the blockchain. This is your property. So I love the full transparency here. I also love the fact that there is a arm's length and a complete separation between the two companies here. Let's jump for a moment over to the opportunity side of this. So first of all, if you want to just mine with us, you can do that. You can get involved in the company. You can spend $50 to be a member, customer. You can buy nodes, and that's all you have to do. And you can enjoy your daily rewards every day for the next 10 and a half years, plus hopefully perpetually, and you have no problems. But for those of you that are saying, you know, I know some people that might be interested in this. I know some people that really want to learn more about this, and I'm open to the idea of being able to collect referral fees. Guys, referral fees are everywhere these days, right? You get referral fees for just about anything. I mean, Ulta, my wife gets referral fees because she refers people to makeup that she loves. There's referral fees everywhere. So why not refer it to a friend, provide a solution to what's going on in the world, take the commissions and go out and buy some more licenses. Now look at this for a moment. We got to touch on the rentals here, and then we're going to get into the opportunity. So for those of you that can't buy a license, we've got something for you. So right now we currently have 3 different projects that are available. We've got Black Gold that you can rent. So yep, Black Gold's sold out, but we have rentals. In fact, Ricardo, didn't you say that those Black Gold rentals were available this morning? They creep up into the back office and you can snag some of those rentals. And guess what? For $250, you can rent for 20 days and you can accumulate Black Gold, and that Black Gold is yours to keep for as long as you want it. NatG, 50,000 rentals were just released into the rental pool. You can rent a NatG license for $250 for 60 days and accumulate tokens. Now think about this for a moment. You can go buy 10 licenses, or you can go rent 10 licenses for $2,500 for 60 days, and you can accumulate as if you own 10 licenses. Now, I'll tell you, a lot of the collectors, not only do they buy licenses, but they're renting on top of it. If you own licenses, but you are also renting to mass accumulate, drop a money sign into the chat box below. It's what I do every time a project comes available. We've got Grow available. Next week, Aluminum and Explorer coming available. So this can also be used as a stepping stone. If you can't own a license, first of all, if you're not in a position to buy a license, then let us help you get to a point where you never have to say that again by putting you on a path to the point where you start to accumulate income producing assets that can change your situation. Because if you're in that situation, then I think you would agree with me that something has to change. And this is a great place to start accumulating assets, income producing assets, because here's what happens. When you accumulate enough income producing assets that exceeds the amount of revenue that you have coming in, then guess what? That's when you're free. That's when you are free. So now I want to switch gears for a moment, because we've got the DebtBox, totally separate company. Totally separate company. They didn't start as a direct sales company. They're not a direct sales company. They have, other than being strategically partnered with IX Global, everything is separate. But what they did is they said, hey, listen, you know what? We want to strategically partner with a company that's established. IX Global is 2.5 years old, did 20 million in revenue last year. They'll do 150 million this year. They have a captive audience that is interested in cryptocurrency. Well, guess what? These guys taught education, crypto, Forex education, crypto education, NFT education, personal development. They had an entire platform, and they launched their company in India 2.5 years ago, and now they have over 100,000 reps in India. Just this year, they launched in Latin America. Well, guess what, guys? We just launched this in the United States in July. That's how new this is. So IX Global has become the exclusive reseller for the DebtBox, and they also have the ability to market those licenses wholesale. How do they do that? They buy up tens of millions of dollars of licenses when they first are released at their lowest price point. That allows them to control the price point to cater to their audience. You can go buy a license directly from Deb. You'll pay $72,000 retail value for a NatG license today. So I can also tell you that out of all of the financial services companies, everyone wanted this exclusivity. Everybody was fighting for it, and they are now all calling us because they want these licenses, because we're the only one in the world that has it. If you look at the accolades that this company has, top 3 startups, top momentum, hit 100. Guys, we're doing $1 million a day right now. One of the fastest growing direct sales companies in the world. And out of nowhere, people are going, what in the world is going on at IX Global? A couple of ways that you can get involved. You want to just be a customer. You want to be a member. You don't want anything to do with the direct sales side. You spend $50.
Hey, Travis, we need your slides. We need your slides.
I'm just over here excited, giving myself a presentation. I'm excited over here. Hang on a second. Sharing screen. You guys are just looking at me. All right, so here we go. So let me go back to just this one here real quickly so you guys can see all of those accolades. So you got all these different accolades. This is our corporate team, an incredible team. They've had just a tremendous success record since they've launched the company. For those of you that want to get involved in the company, and you don't want to be part of the referral program. You just want to buy some nodes, and then you want to log into your DebtBox and never have to worry about IX Global again. $50, and you can go ahead and do that. You can go buy your nodes. You got 28 days for your membership to buy the licenses. If you want to buy more in the future, you can reactivate that membership. That's what I like is that the guys, all we do is we sell software that allows you to mine projects for the DebtBox that are backed by commodities that are in high demand. That is it. That is all we do. We don't sell a commodity. We don't offer a guarantee, and we don't offer an ROI. We sell software. The only thing that I can guarantee you is that you're going to have more tokens tomorrow than you have today. For those of you that want to build a business, you got really 2 options, the basic and the pro option. I recommend the pro option. Basic's going to give you some great education when it comes to basic Forex. It's going to get you into our academy. But the pro option comes with everything that we have. And it's a fantastic opportunity for you to be able to get involved, grow your business, and keep going from there. So we've got a couple of different ways that you can get started into the business. Now, if you come in at the 145 and you go bring in 3 people, yours is now free. You go help those 3 get 3, you're now earning $500 a month. So it's pretty simple. Guys, our top earner, Viraj Patel, got to $650,000 a month on $145 packages with this compensation plan. $650,000 a month by teaching 3 to get 3 with the value that they provide just with their memberships. Now he's just under $1 million, and he's done that because we've now added these licenses. You also have direct bonuses that come in. Direct bonuses come in off of the memberships, and they also come in off of the node sales, all the way up to $500, depending on the price of the node and the sale. And here's what I've learned. People don't just buy a node one time. They keep buying and they keep buying and they keep buying and they keep buying because they are collectors. Because once people get in this and they see the tokens that are coming in daily, they want to start collecting. They want to start diversifying. Now, we also have rank bonuses, one of my favorite parts of this compensation plan. Guys, there's some companies that have rank bonuses that you hit at one time, you get a nice little rank bonus, and that's it. Every single week, they'll pay you up to $2,000. Every week, I get a $2,000 check from the company just for requalifying at my rank. And here's the cool thing. These ranks were established when we were just a membership company. They didn't come back when we started selling nodes, and the volume on all of these nodes is 10 times as high. So you have, a tremendous amount of volume that's flowing now. They didn't go and raise these marks. So they're much easier to achieve now that we have these nodes. And I've got a lot of people that are collecting anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month on these things. Now, going backwards here. So our top earners ranked. So we have Viraj Patel, top earner, $857,000 a month, over $10 million a year at IX Global, currently number 4. I project that he will hit number 1 within probably the next 90 to 120 days. And guys, he's done that in 2 years. He's done that in 2 years. If you take a look at everybody that's on the Business for Home top earners list, guys, if you're wondering if people are making money here, they are making money here. They are making money here like I've never seen before. We've also got a fantastic binary compensation plan that has no structural requirements. For those of you that are network marketers, you understand you don't have to have 10 diamonds all qualifying in 1 month to qualify. You know what the structural requirement is? You got to have 2 people on your left, 2 people on your right. And as long as no more than 50% comes from one of them, you can go to the top of the compensation plan. So guys, I'm gonna just say this as I wrap it up. every now and then an opportunity comes along. An opportunity comes along that there's these windows of opportunity. They don't stay open very often and they don't stay open very long, but when they're open, incredible things can happen. You know, when you've been in this industry as long as we have, when a product's time has arrived, you don't have to oversell it. You don't have to overhype it. You don't have to overpromise it. Why? Because people want what you have. They need what you have, and you can make a difference in their life. And in my experience, and I've been here 90 days, you guys, 90 days, you just saw my income. 90 days, all I'm doing is I'm sharing and educating what we have to offer, and people are coming like crazy. So with that, I want to say thank you very, very much for letting me